Hi YouTube and hi Ghost Hunters! Welcome to Phasmophobia. Today we're going to go over what your very first round as a brand new player looks like, including all of the basic items, no extraneous items, and on amateur and on Tanglewood. So let's see what kind of ghosty we got. Let's go ghost hunting.
Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation. We've had no reports of violence, but keep an eye out.
Alright, so when you first load in, Ominous British Man is going to say something creepy to you through this radio. Now, sometimes he'll say there's been reports of violence, or just now he said there's been no reports of violence, but be careful. Sometimes he also says something about a cursed object. What he says is just a random recording, and it has no bearing on what you are going to experience in the house. What you're going to experience in the house is left completely up to RNG, so don't let that concern you, don't pay too much attention to it. Here we have a timer. So on amateur mode, we have 5 minutes to set up before the ghost can actually hunt. During this time, the ghost will not be able to hunt. Now, once that timer reaches 0, that doesn't mean that the ghost will hunt right away. What we're going to want to pay attention to after this reaches 0 is this sanity monitor here. Now, the sanity monitor shows you your average sanity. If your sanity gets to a certain point, let's say 50%, that's the time in which most ghosts have a chance to hunt you. Now, some ghosts, depending on what they are, like the demon or the raiju or the fae, they have a chance to hunt at a higher percentage than that. I don't know how likely that is to happen on amateur. Personally, I've never experienced it, but if someone knows, please absolutely comment down below and let me know if we can get like a 90% demon hunt on amateur mode or something like that. So the other thing we're going to want to pay attention to is the quest board. So here, this shows you the name of the ghost, what kind of ghost it is, so whether it's an alone ghost or an everyone ghost. And we also have a list of bonus objectives here. So we know that the ghost name is Mark Knight. It is an alone ghost. This means that it's most likely to respond to people that are alone in the ghost room. If you're playing with people, in order to get evidence like the spirit box and things like that from the ghost, you're going to want to make sure that only one person is in the ghost room at a time. Otherwise, you might not get the evidence that you need to guess the ghost accurately. Here are our objectives. So our objectives are witness a ghost event, find evidence of the paranormal with an EMF reader, and get an average sanity below 25. Now, most of the time, a lot of these objectives you're not going to be able to complete right off the bat as a brand new player because they're going to require some bonus objects such as the smudge sticks and salt and things like that. Don't worry about that too much and don't feel bad that you can't complete them all, especially if you're a completionist like me. Eventually, you will get enough money to get those bonus objects and then you'll be able to have the ability to complete those bonus objectives. Right now, we're really only going to worry about the EMF reader. We're going to see if we can get a ghost event, and we're also going to see about getting an average sanity below 25. I think we can probably pull that off. You don't have to get all of the objectives to guess the ghost correctly or end your round. There is like no really pass or fail in Phasmophobia, except, you know, you can get the ghost incorrect and you won't get as much money. But you don't necessarily need to complete everything, which is something that I really like. But you can if you just really want to get all of your bonus objectives and get as much money as possible. So here we have our items. It's a good idea to take a look at what you have. We don't have a lot right now, so this isn't going to take too much time, thankfully. And just kind of make a plan on what you would want to go inside with. Personally, I really like having a flashlight, the EMF, and a photo camera. But really, there's no correct order on what you can take in. It's just up to you and your preference, whatever makes it easier for you to find the ghost room. I will say right off the bat, I would suggest probably at least the EMF reader. Anything else is just completely up to you. And here's the rest of our board. So we have a map. This shows us where the power is, that little power symbol. And we can also scroll between downstairs and upstairs. That shows the house and the basement. And here's the total activity board. So here we can see how active the ghost is. This will show you things like if you get an EMF 5, if the ghost is throwing things around, or if the ghost is hunting. So if you have friends that are also playing this game, they'll be able to see if the ghost is hunting if it goes all the way up to 10. But some ghost events can also show up as going up to 10 as well. And this board we don't really have to worry about. This is just the sound sensors. That's a bonus item. If you have the sound sensors, it'll just show you in what part of the house the ghost is active in. or where the sound sensors are picking up the ghostly sounds. Here we have this beautiful sky. So we're gonna go on in and figure out what this ghosty is. Now, the great thing about Amateur is that when you walk in, you don't have to rely completely on your flashlight. You can just start turning on lights because the fuse box does start on. The other thing we're gonna wanna do, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my EMF reader just in case we get anything, but the first thing you're gonna wanna do when you get into the house, other than turn some lights on, is to look for hiding spots. On Amateur, you have a lot of hiding spots to choose from. So like this closet, this is another closet, this is another closet you can hide in. We also have this really handy spot in the nursery. Just crouch behind this box and whatnot and you should be good. This over here is not a hiding spot. Don't make this mistake. I have died over here a few times, not really having a plan of where to go when the ghost was hunting, and I have died there quite a bunch. So just keep that in mind, that when you are hiding from the ghost when it's hunting, you just want something that blocks the line of sight so that the ghost can't see you. Now here we have the cursed object. This is the music box. Cursed objects spawn. Wow. Wow. Well, that was a ghost event. Cursed objects spawn in various parts of the house. The music box just so happens to spawn on this shelf in the nursery. I'm not sure if the ghost is actually here, but I think it might be. I wonder if we got that ghost photo as well. Okay, so the ghost is either in this bathroom here or in the hallway. So I'm gonna put my stuff down there. I'm also gonna show you a few other hiding spots that are available to you here. Oops. So I think, yeah, the breaker can show up here, and sometimes it can be in the basement on this map. It's important that you stay in the light as much as possible after the timer has gone out, because that'll really help to preserve your sanity. When you're in the dark, your sanity will drain much faster, and then that means that the ghost will be able to hunt you at a lot faster rate. So you can hide in these lockers here. That's another great option. And then there's also a really good spot here in the basement that completely blocks line of sight. And unless the ghost sees you come behind here, it really can't get you. And it's pretty great and probably like my favorite panic spot on this map personally. Oh. So we just found the bone. Every time you load in, you're going to want to get at least a picture of the cursed object and a picture of the bone. The bone spawns randomly everywhere. The cursed objects generally spawn the same place every single game. It just depends on if it's like the summoning circle, or like you saw, the music box always spawns in the nursery. Eventually you'll get to a point where you have those spots memorized. So the bone can spawn anywhere on the map, and sometimes it can be really hard to find it. I've had issues before where the bone has spawned kind of like phased into something. So if you can't find it, don't get too discouraged and don't worry about it too much. Sometimes the RNG can just be mean like that. All right, so we've kind of found the general area of where the ghost is. So the next step, I think, would be to figure out what else we're going to bring in. So I would say that since the ghost keeps touching that door, we should bring in the fingerprints and we should do the spirit box. There's no right order to take your items in. It just depends on what you're interested in getting, what you feel like getting. There's no correct order. You can do it in any order you want to. And hey, we got our ghost event. That's awesome. Since we heard it touch the door, we're gonna want to go over the door and see if we see glowing fingerprints. Sometimes it can help to Also turn the light out. I don't see fingerprints anywhere, so I don't think we're gonna have fingerprints. To rule out an evidence, you're gonna wanna go in your journal, click on evidence, and just kind of cross that out. Spirit is gonna be circled automatically, so just click on it twice to get rid of that. I don't know why they do it. It's kind of annoying to have it that way. Alright, so now I'm gonna try to get the spirit box. In order to get the spirit box, you're gonna want to make sure that the light is out. Where are you? How old are you? Are you friendly? It might be in the hallway. Let's see. Let's check here. Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Are you friendly? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? How old are you? Okay, so we didn't get spirit box, but I saw my breath there, so that actually means that we have freezing temperatures. That is one of the best ways to find out if you have freezing temperatures when you don't have access to a temp gun yet. So we're gonna make sure that we have that selected. And I'm gonna cross out spirit box for now. So that leaves us with Revenant, Shade, Yuri, or Oni. I know our Revenant does ghost writing, so I'm gonna take the dots and the book in. Usually you take in dots with the video camera, but I'm feeling a little spicy. I'm feeling just a tad bit spicy. Probably put it right here. Well, no, because I got freezing in here, so it should be in here. Oh! So if you get ghostwriting, you can take a picture of it, and that counts as a photo. So I guess the ghost is out here. It's interesting that we got freezing in the bathroom. I guess there's really not a lot of room. Some rooms too that you'll find, especially if they're small, like in that bathroom, the ghost tends to move around to like other parts of the house that are close by. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for the ghost room. All right. So now we're gonna see if we've got orbs. So for Revenant, we would need orbs. And for a Shade, we would need EMF level 5. So let me grab the EMF just real quick like. I'm also gonna go turn the power back on so we can preserve some sanity. I know we need our sanity to drain. We're not gonna worry about that too much right now. We're gonna turn this light on. So fun fact, that is a hissing ghost event. If you get that, then it can't be an Oni, because an Oni does not do that hissing ghost event. Oh, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Another ghost event. Let's go. Okay, so... I don't see Orbeez. Okay, that was just something sparkling. That wasn't orbs. So gonna check in here. Okay, I'm at least 90% sure. It's not orbs. Let's go turn the power off on again. I'm gonna turn it on, not off. Turn on the shower. Wow, it was like, no, actually, are you serious? Why? This is a very active ghost. Another thing to note, so you see how it just evented right there and it's giving me a 4? A 4 is always going to be the ghost event. If we get a 2, like over here, it just means that the ghost touched something. A EMF 3 is usually it yeeted something somewhere. An EMF 5 is, you know, an EMF 5 is, it's an EMF 5 ghost. Okay, so our sanity is probably kind of low. Hello. Especially after those ghost events. So I'm gonna go check what our sanity is real quick. Okay, we're at a 52, so we're getting close for it to be hunting range. Another good way to find EMF 5 is by what's happening on the board. So we will just watch it for a minute. If we get it going all the way up to the 5 line and it's straight up and straight down, that is how we know it's an EMF 5. Now, sometimes in situations like this, you may not get all the evidences so easily, so there are other options you can do to rule out what kind of ghost it is. In this case, from my own knowledge of playing this game, I know that a revenant goes very, very slow when it can't see you. The way that the revenant is now, I believe it will speed to like your last known spot, wherever it saw you last. And then after that, if it can't see you, it will go, its footsteps will sound like boom, boom, boom. Very, very slow. If it doesn't sound like that at all while we're hiding and we know it can't see us, we know it's a shade. As a new player though, you're probably going to want to just kind of find the evidence mainly and not worry about that too much. But if you're an overachiever and you would like to, that's just a little tidbit of information, a little tip for you. I am not seeing it do EMF 5 almost at all. So we're gonna go back in the house. We're within hunting range, so it might hunt us. We do get a little bit of a grace period before it starts hunting, though. Keeps touching that door. I could just go on ahead and get one last photo. Alright, that's all the photos we can take. This ghost really likes turning off the power. For this being like your very first round in Phasmophobia, this is like the most active ghost. Okay, so now it's hunting. We're gonna go hide. And then we're gonna listen. Now I'm on push to talk so it can't hear me. Okay, I don't think it's hunting anymore. Or did I put my flashlight? A good way to check. Can you flip the lights back on? If you can, it is no longer hunting. Alright, let's get out of here and check on our sanity. I did hear the thump, 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 so I do believe it's a revenant. Wow, we still haven't gotten that sanity objective. I'm gonna go ahead and select Revenant because it sounded pretty slow. I just find it interesting I can't find those Orbeez yet. So one way that you can get the sanity objective as a new player, like a really easy way, is if you want to go back in the house. want to hide. And just keep this open until you see the sanity objective. So you get the sanity objective. Now, it's going to be a little trickier to leave the house after that point, because the lower your sanity is, the more often it has a chance to hunt you. It will hunt you. I hear it tapping on that cooler. I'm hearing a lot of different ambient noises. It's not necessarily like hunting noises, but I could definitely hear that the ghost is active. The lower your sanity is too, the more active the ghost will be. Okay, we're hunting now. It doesn't really sound like it's hunting anymore, but sanity's still not below yet. Okay, we got it, but I think it's hunting, so I'm gonna wait until it stops hunting. Why don't we check our trusty... Yes. So we are good! Let's escape the house and go. Oh my gosh! Mark was really saying bye, everyone. Jeez. Jeez. And there you have it. That is finding your very first ghost on your very first round. Hopefully your rounds are a little less chaotic than that. That ghost was very, very active. It really just, like I said, it really just depends on RNG. They're not always that in your face, but sometimes they are, and it can be very spooky your first time in the house. I would just encourage you to keep playing. Eventually you'll get to a point where it's like, yeah, okay, fine, ghost, whatever. And you'll just kind of start talking back to them and everything will be fine and you'll have more and more fun with the game. It took me a little while to get over my fear because the atmosphere is insane when it's your first time, especially with stuff like that hissing event. So, like I said, just take your time. Stay in the house longer and longer, little by little, and just become accustomed to what the ghost sounds like, where it's at, and what your evidences are. So with that, I will let us make sure that we've got it locked in, and let's go. See if we've got our revenant. We got a revenant.
There's some jobs ready for you.
Yay! So we got $87.97 XP. Let's heckin' go. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you are a more experienced player and you have any tips that I might have left out here, please also feel free to include those in the comments. I don't know everything. The great thing about this game is that you learn something new every single time you play. I've only been playing for a little over a year. So definitely if you've been playing longer than that, absolutely feel free to speak up. The greatest thing about the Phasmophobia community is that there are so many knowledgeable people that are more than willing to give you tips and tricks on how to find the ghost, and who knows, maybe a tip that someone will leave will really help you find your first ghost. So with that, I will say bye YouTube, happy ghost hunting, and good luck. Let me know how it goes.